this is where a home warranty is going to save you a whole bunch of money, because if something's going to happen, I think it's going to happen in that 6 to 12 month range of you finally getting the bed moved in. And then next thing you know, you got water pouring out of the ceiling on top of the bed. And you're like, well, got to replace that too. All right. Hey, and welcome to today's show. My name is Mason McNair, your host, and this is another episode of R.E-Learn from Dirt to Doorknobs. So today we're talking about home warranty programs when you're buying or selling. So a lot of the things that people kind of get misconstrued is they're laying in the bed, it's 9:30 at night, and the air conditioner goes out in July and it's hot. So what do? Is that a insurance claim? Is that a home warranty claim? So that is where we're bringing in a professional today, and she is going to break it down for us. So please take a minute and help me welcome Kelly Lukenda Ely. She is a 210 home buyers warranty rep and just a super knowledgeable, super great folk. And I think that she's really going to help us out today. Kelly, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me here.
So tell us just a brief little bit about kind of how you got into the home warranty game. Like what brought you to that?
Right out of college. I remember I just graduated from college. I went there for business. I wanted to come home just to get a job and make some money before I found a career that I really wanted. My dad said, "You have to get a job, Kelly." So
I've heard that
yeah,
many times.
you got to get
many
a job.
times.
If you're coming home, you got to get a job. One of my best friends was working for a company called 210 Home Buyers Warranty. So I started with 210 in 2004, and I actually started on our builder side because that's actually where 210 came from.
Okay.
We are not only have the 1-year systems and appliances for our pre-loved homes, but we also work with builders where we offer the full 210, which is our 1-year workmanship, 2-year delivery systems, and 10-year structural coverage. So I worked on our builder side. I was inside sales from 2004 through 2010, and then I was promoted to outside sales for the resale division.
We love promotions.
Here I am, almost 22 years later.
Well, that's awesome. When we get into kind of how the home warranty process works, right? So we're going to kind of get a little bit of your backstory. We learned about how you got into it. But what we're wanting to do today is kind of break down what a home warranty is, what it covers, what it doesn't cover, when to file the claims, how to file the claims, stuff like that. I've been waiting on this one because when I first got into real estate, I didn't know what the home warranty process. Look, I've bought and sold several houses, but I had no idea how it worked. So we're here today to help the folks behind the camera kind of understand how the process works.
Awesome.
What does a typical day in home warranty land look like for you?
Wow. So a lot of people always ask like where my home office is. Well, 210, our headquarters is out of Denver, Colorado.
That's a long drive.
But yeah, but I say I work out of my car, actually.
Oh.
I do have a home office, but a typical day is I am at realty offices all day long, educating, doing presentations, having one-on-ones with my agents. So that is my typical day.
Okay. So how I met her, when you go through the real estate process and you get your license, you have to do a post-licensing course. Well, she came in and was kind of brought food, which is awesome. I love food. Quickest way to somebody's heart is through their belly. She came in and just kind of explained to us what a home warranty was, what 210 offered, how it tied in with the brokerage that I'm at. And from that day forward, I was like, man, she is wicked smart. Like I think it comes with experience. Once you've been in the game for a little bit, you kind of understand how things work. Just super knowledgeable, super nice, just a genuine person.
You.
What is one thing that you would say that you enjoy the most about your job?
Educating and helping people. I love educating my agents. It's like a piece of my heart right there. But I love helping homeowners as well. And when I get those calls from homeowners, like nearly crying, saying thank you for helping me get me a new HVAC system, all of that, that just means a lot to me. And it makes me realize why I love what I'm doing.
I've said it 100 times. So I think the world needs a little bit more kindness, So if you treat people right, in return, they'll treat you right. I think you're definitely on the right path with that one. All right. So we'll roll in. Been with 210, would you say 22 years? 22 years. What sets your role apart? I mean, if you wanted to kind of break it down, what you do for agents, what you do for buyers, what you do for sellers, just real quick.
Well, pretty much I'm the agent's contact person. I'm their local rep here in Georgia. We're a national home warranty company as well, but I do take care of Georgia.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, go Dogs. But, I'm just here for the support, not only for the agents, but for homeowners. I always say that I do come along with my product. That's one thing that really separates me from a lot of home warranty companies is not only do I love to educate my agents, but I love to talk to the homeowners as well because I think education is key. I want them to understand the warranty, the process, expectations of a home warranty, but I want to offer the peace of mind knowing that they can call me anytime if they ever have questions, need guidance.
Yep.
No one's perfect. Contractors aren't perfect. And so if anything ever gets off track, I want them to have the peace of mind knowing that they can pick up the phone, they can call me, and I'm here to get things back on track.
And I think that that is one of the biggest things. We'll use my previous episode with Curtis Caldwell. When we really got down into the, I guess we'll call it the nitty gritty, if you don't understand what is in the agreement or what is in the contract when it comes to home warranties, homeowners insurance, I mean, you're just throwing something at the wall hoping it sticks. And I think that that's something that when you make a relationship with your home warranty rep, you got to have somebody that's in your corner, right? So, and I feel like you're one of those people that you'll be in the trenches fighting with people when they tragedy. I mean, I think when you've got a $500,000 house and the water heater goes out, that's a tragedy. We are going to get into a segment called What Really Is a Home Warranty? So question number 1 for you. Tell your first-time home buyers, like what is a home warranty?
So for our pre-loved homes, I am the resale rep. We have a 1-year home warranty. They can actually purchase up to 3 years, and it's renewable every year though. But we do cover all the major systems and appliances inside the home. So think of the word peach. P for plumbing, E for electrical, A for appliances, C for cooling, H for heating. And we also do cover up to 3 garage door openers. But we cover the mechanical breakdowns due to normal wear and tear, major systems and appliances.
The things that cost the most money. This is why home warranty is important. I guess if you had to break it down, the difference between home warranty and home insurance, and we go Barney style here, like first-time home buyers, people that really don't understand, just as basic as you think you can break it down.
So with the home warranty, again, we cover the systems and appliances, and we cover the mechanical breakdowns due to normal wear and tear. For a great example, happened at my house, water heater.
Oof.
We just finished the whole basement, all brand new carpet, drywall, everything.
You thought.
We left for the weekend and came home to a flooded basement. Due to the water heater, it bust.
When does your home warranty typically start? So say that you are a buyer. When would that home warranty start?
Day of closing.
Day of closing.
Or day of occupancy.
Okay.
Because sometimes, they'll move in prior to
Temporary
close.
occupancy or something like that.
Or, we do market 2 transactions, but anyone could get a home warranty. Whenever that warranty start date is, they tell me that's when it starts.
Okay.
And it's for a full year.
On the seller side. So let's just say that the seller has a warranty through 210. Do you guys offer, is it transferable? Is that something that y'all can do?
So one thing that we do offer for our sellers, if they are putting their home on the market, we do offer complimentary listing coverage.
Okay.
And how that works is we don't know how long the home's going to be on the market for, right? A couple of days, weeks, months, even up to a year. And so what we're proposing to our sellers is we will give them free coverage on the major systems and appliances. Heating is included, but the only thing that is optional to add on is the air conditioner and heat pump. That coverage is optional for $50. They do have to pay that, but it's free coverage for them. They're not even obligated to pay for the home warranty. Even if we go out there during the listing period and pay claims, they're not obligated to pay. All that we ask for our sellers to do is that they market it with the home saying it's available, because you're creating history with us with the coverage. So the buyers, if the seller did not want to purchase the warranty for the new buyers, the buyers can still purchase it for themselves, because unexpected happens. Unexpected could be very expensive.
If you have any kind of luck like I have, we call it McNair luck in my family. If something bad's going to happen, it's going to happen to us. So if you are thinking about selling a house, give me a shout. We'll get you linked up. And I have a saying, if it's free, it's me. You're getting free coverage. And the bad things happen at the most inopportune times. You go under contract, and then 3 days before close, water heater blows up. You're like,
I've gotten those calls. I've gotten calls from agents saying, Kelly, I am going through the walkthrough right now. We are closing in a couple of hours. The water heater just busted.
And I'm currently swimming in 2 inches of water. And I'm sure that you've seen it. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later on, but I'm excited. I'm not excited. I feel bad for whoever it happened to, but I'm excited to hear about what is like the worst story that you have had to initiate a claim on. We'll get into it, but just be thinking about that one. All right. Who usually pays for home warranty? Is it going to be the buyer? Is it going to be the seller? Can it be both?
It could be whoever wants to pay for it. Usually, the buyer's agent will negotiate with the sellers to have them purchase it. But again, if they say no to that, the buyers could still purchase it for themselves, or the agent could purchase it for the buyers as a gift.
That's one thing that I try to always negotiate, just because I don't want my bad luck rubbing off on anybody else. So you're just like, hey, let's think about seeing if we can maybe split this, let them cover half of it. And you guys offer pay at close, right? So at that point, you pay at the closing table instead of having to front the money.
And another thing, we do also offer payment plans available for our buyers, and we have no finance charge, which is awesome.
So if you have expensive habits like boats and side-by-sides or whatever else,
Yes.
This is the plan for you then. Okay, cool. Mechanical systems versus structural coverage. So does home warranty, will that cover any type of a structural issue, or are you just mechanical breakdown?
We're just mechanical breakdown, but 210, we actually have two different divisions. I am on the resale side, where we just cover the mechanical breakdowns due to normal wear and tear on the major systems and appliances. But we do also work with builders. Again, that's where 210 came from. It's our 1-year workmanship, 2-year delivery systems, and 10 years of structural coverage. But that's only offered with brand new construction homes never been lived in. We also offer coverage to builders if they're remodeling any type of structural, or we can also do in small commercial.
And small commercial. Service call fees. This is another question that I had. Does 210 pay for that? Does whoever has the coverage pay for that? Like, how does that work?
Great question. So we have 3 different plans to choose from. With all of those, it's with a $100 service fee. Now, that is on the homeowner. So every time that they request service with us, they do pay the contractor a $100 service fee. But we also do have a $50 service fee buy down, meaning you can take that $100 and bring it to $75 service fee by paying additional $50.
So that $100 that you have to pay, is that even in like what we'll call emergency 2:00 in the morning? It's just $100.
It's $100 service.
That's
fee.
a heck of a lot cheaper than calling the plumber at 3:00 because you can't find the main water shut off
Yeah.
and your whole house is underwater. So another thing to consider, I'd rather pay $100 than a $450 call out fee for it being an emergency. So I think you touched on this. I just want to kind of recap that. Contract terms. You said 1 year, 3 year for your home warranty?
Yes, so the warranty is a 1-year home warranty. It's renewable every year.
Okay.
We call this our realtor product. And so this is more of an introductory into 210. So it does have loads of coverage. We do allow our homeowners to purchase up to 3 years to stay on this product.
What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scan it in, put it on my website, and put a link in so that you can go to it. I carry one of those with me to all of my appointments, listing appointments, buying appointments, whatever. And I'm like, look, at least look at it.
Yes.
I can't give you this one because this is the only one I got, but look at it. So I'm going to put that in. You can click the link down in the description and it'll take you to a little scanned in copy. And I'll even drop your website in there as well so that they can go and do some looking there. Okay, so moving on from there, we went to what really is a home warranty. What we're going to get into now is what's covered and what is not. And I think that this is where a lot of these people are going to pique the attention, like, all right, well, hey, I probably need to start listening now. So you stomp your foot. Most common items that are covered with 210: HVAC for heating and air, plumbing. Now, does that just include water heater, or is that
Includes
lines?
water heater.
Okay. Does it include lines as well?
It's pretty much everything inside the home. We do offer extended pipe leak, but that's a buyer optional coverage that they can add on.
So from the water meter at the road, it goes into the house, pretty much where the main shutoff starts. Everything inside of that is covered with 210 in their policy. Electrical, not the main line going in, but from the circuit panel or from the breaker box through the rest of the house. Okay. Would that also include, say you have outlets that just die?
Yes.
You just replace
outlets
those.
are included.
Makes sense to me. Okay. What are some of the things that homeowners assume are covered but aren't? If you just had maybe 2 or 3 things.
So pre-existing.
See, that was another question I had.
Pre-existing is a big one. We do not care how old the systems or appliances are.
Okay.
We just require that everything is in place and in good, safe working order prior to the warranty start date.
Okay.
And so if you're going in getting a home warranty because you're having issues with the HVAC, you know, you've been putting Freon in year over year, you have a leak. It's a leak in the evaporator coil. It's not going to be eligible for coverage. It's not in place in good, safe working order because it's leaking gas. So that's a most common thing is people think that pre-existing is, you know, covered. Another thing, a big thing is maintenance. We do not cover for maintenance. That is the
Filter changes.
that is the homeowner's
yearly,
responsibility.
okay.
And a lot of the times it's so sad, but with HVAC, we see more failures due to improper maintenance. You should be maintaining those systems once to two times a year,
Yep.
spring and fall.
So my dad was an HVAC guy, ran a company out of Murrayville for a little while. And I was like, why is this man always swapping these filters like every 30 days? But now I've gotten to the point, my wife is very tidy, very clean, and I am pretty regular about swapping filters. I even made a Facebook post about this. My house is so dusty and I cannot figure out why. So we're like, okay, well, it needs a duct cleaning. By the time you change the filters out, I mean, they're not dirty, but they're not brand new.
Mhm.
This is where maintenance, which I'm going to have an entire another episode on maintenance, just for the simple fact of preventative maintenance can prevent you from spending thousands of dollars prematurely. So it blows my mind that some people just think that they can move into a house and just live there, pay their mortgage, pay their water and power bill, and everything just keeps moving. Sometimes people got to learn the expensive way. All right. So what are coverage limits and why do they exist?
So because with the warranty and with the prices that we're offering, we do have to have coverage limits.
Okay.
For a great example, we're very well known for our HVAC coverage. We actually have no limit on eligible parts in the equipment for HVAC. You know, appliances, $3,000 per appliance.
Okay.
So we're going to have limits, and you will find everything in the service agreement. So that's why I always tell my homeowners to make sure that they're reading and understanding the warranty. And that's another thing that's really good about me is I can even walk them through it, answer those questions for them. But yes, we do have to have limits.
You guys have to cap that or they would just take advantage of the system,
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, a great example, we have an extended pipe leak that's a buyer option to add on for $60, but it's up to $1,000 max. I mean, that could be a very pricey, you know, expense. If
depending
it's the
on
main,
where.
Yes. And so at least we'll pay up to $1,000. At least they're getting something for it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Pro tip here. Why do you think that I talked about the contract, understanding it. Why do you think that reading the contract is important, especially when it comes to home warranty programs?
Because it gives you the expectations of what you're getting and learning about what's covered, what's not covered. I mean, we've been, you know, called where we've had homeowners say they have a plumbing issue and we send out a contractor and they're having to pay $100 to hear the sprinkler systems are not even eligible for coverage. Yes, it's very important to read the contract to know what you're like when you have a claim to call in, just make sure is this something that's eligible?
Yeah.
Because we don't want our homeowners having to pay a service fee for no reason.
Well, and we talked about this before we really started the show. If you just pick up the phone and call, say I had a warranty with you, and I was like, hey, I just cut my main water shutoff off, and this is leaking. Is that covered in the plan? I'm pretty sure that you would be pull the thing up. Oh yeah, hey, that's covered in the plan that you purchased. So get a rep that wants to take care of you, and they will answer the phone and give you an answer. Or you can Google it. I mean, I'm sure Google or 210's website will tell you what's covered. So just remember what your plan is. Always keep your documentation for your home purchases. Moving on, optional coverage upgrades. I know you talked about it. Main line going from the home to the meter covers there. What other additional coverage upgrades are there?
We have septic coverage that they can add on, well, pool and spa for either fresh or salt water. We have where you can add additional refrigerators, wine coolers, freestanding freezers. We also have our plus coverage, which gives a little bit more plumbing. Raises the limits more towards that, also raises the limits towards our appliances if you have high-end appliances. So we have a lot of buyer add-ons, and they're all right here.
That picture will be up. So I have a question here. Just say you purchase a new washer and dryer. Are those two combined, or is the washer its own appliance and the dryer is its own appliance?
They're their own appliance.
It's their own entity. Okay,
Yeah.
because when you go to Home Depot, they'll get you on the, hey, we're running a special on a set. Well, all right. Well, is that $3,000? Is that for both of these?
Yeah.
Or, so, hey, good question there. Thank me later. All right. Real claims, real scenarios. Now we get to hear the stories. All right. What is the most common claim that you think that you've seen in the years you've been in the business?
HVAC.
That being it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Do you think it's a?
Actually, during COVID, plumbing.
I can only
Well,
imagine
was one of our highest
people weren't leaving the house. You need to go outside and go walk, fresh air.
Yeah, but HVAC, I mean, that's the most expensive system in the home.
Do you think that it was similar issues every single time? Or?
Yeah. I mean, with HVAC, we see HVACs lasting up to 30 years.
Yep.
But I have seen HVAC.
With proper maintenance.
Yes. And that's what I was about to say. I've actually seen an HVAC that had to be replaced after 3 years because of no maintenance.
Well, they probably had 7 dogs, 14 cats,
it was
and the
pretty
filter
bad. I've
that
never
was
seen anything
in
like
there.
it before, but I saw pictures and it was pretty bad. Yeah.
That'll make you sick.
3-year-old system.
That's a lot of money, too,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have a home warranty. Golly. Okay, that makes
But you have to understand, like, you're using either the AC during the summer, heating during the winter, so they're always on. So you're always using it.
Yeah, that's something you need. Being in the country that we're in, air conditioning and heating is not necessarily a need, but it's a want. But anybody that's trying to start their own business, I can think of 3 things that you could jump into because it's not going to go anywhere. Heating and cooling is one of those things because now we've been kind of spoiled. We're like, oh man, well, I'm going to walk inside and it's going to be 67 degrees. Then you sleep good. Here it is. Big question.
Okay.
Give me an example where a home warranty saved somebody just thousands of dollars.
HVAC. I mean, we're very well known for HVAC coverage. We do cover all the government mandates. So back in 2000, there was a government mandate where they're banning the manufacturing of parts and the equipment towards Freon. But we're now, 2026? There's still Freon available. There's still parts available, but they're just no longer, manufacturing them. But we're now finding it harder and harder finding parts for older systems. In January of 23, there was another government mandate where they are no longer, like, a system is considered heating and air, indoor, outdoor. They work together. And so if the AC goes out and it has to be replaced, they are no longer able to replace with R22 Freon. They have to replace with the government standards. Usually it's like
410.
Yes. But if they had to replace that, what's going to happen with the heating?
You got to replace that too, buddy. You
You
can't
either
mix
have
them.
to replace it or you have to make it compatible. And we also cover the compatibility, which some warranty companies don't, to where we can actually go in and if we can replace the evaporator coil to where we're using the same refrigerants, we can make it compatible. But if we can't, then we would go ahead and replace that heating system as well so they're working together.
She over here throwing out HVAC technician terms. Evaporator, most people don't even know where that's at. That's impressive. I'll give you that. That's impressive. All right. What about a situation where expectations didn't match coverage? We talked about reading your contract, knowing kind of what to expect. My biggest thing, you got to manage expectations. So just say I was going to come to you and get a home warranty. What would that initial conversation kind of look like so that you can manage the expectations so that it matches the coverage when the issue happens?
So the big thing is, again, we do require that everything is in place and in good, safe working order prior to the warranty start date. I highly, highly recommend home inspections.
Do you guys so say that we were going to do a home warranty. Would you come to the house and look at anything, or would you just use an inspection report, or is there any kind of, I guess, stipulation that you have in place for that?
So I highly recommend home inspections.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to understand with home inspectors, they're not, licensed in these areas. They can do a scope of work. And the biggest thing that we do see, or with any home warranty, what they do see is the gray areas with HVAC, is because these home inspectors are not licensed HVAC technicians. So they're not licensed to open these systems up to see what's actually going on inside.
Yep.
Now they can do temperature differentials, which kind of helps them. It could tell, like, if there's any type of leaks going on. But I get phone calls all the time when it gets so cold, home inspectors won't even turn on the AC because it can mess up the system. And I get kind of backed up in the wall saying, well, is it going to be covered? I'm like, it's eligible. I can't tell you because no one really looked at it. I can say it's eligible. We do require that they are in place in good, safe working order. But I always recommend, no matter what, with HVAC, especially if they're older system, I highly, highly recommend to have a licensed HVAC technician just further evaluate it, giving you a clean bill of health if you have that. And if they did a thorough inspection, you're not going to have any issues with a home warranty. But a common things that we do see is, they had the inspection, they turned the system on and off, and that's all. They didn't do any temperature differentials. This is during the, when it's cold outside. And then for the first time, they're turning on the AC, and the AC won't even turn on. And we send our contractor out, and they open up the system, and it's, completely rusted out because the evaporator coil is voided of refrigerant. And so that is probably a pre-existing issue because they haven't been using the AC. They just turned it on for the first time since they've had the home warranty, and it won't even turn on. And usually if someone comes to me saying, well, it was working, the home inspector turned it on. Those are things I'm going to ask for is the home inspection report. I'm going to ask, did you have a licensed HVAC technician further evaluate? Because those things help me overturn claims if that ever had to happen. But I don't see a lot of pre-existing with 210, which is an awesome thing to say because 97% of our claims are covered. It's actually 97.5% of our claims.
Well, we round up around here.
98.
All right, so just to kind of recap that, let's just say it's January in Dawsonville and I'm buying a house. The inspector does not turn the air conditioning on because it's too cold, could cause issues. Say that I went ahead and paid the money to have a HVAC tech license come out and do an inspection. If I give you my inspection report as well as my HVAC separate inspection, will that then say, hey, this is eligible? Okay.
And you don't have to. We don't require those documentation. But, if you have it, I can always tag it to the warranty to where if you have issues, they'll see that you did your due diligence.
I feel like you need to create a paper trail. CYB, cover your butt, not CYA. We're on YouTube. Moving from there, how can buyers and sellers avoid frustration when it comes to filing a claim? Like, what is something that they can do to, I guess, mitigate that potential issue of?
So we have a homeowner portal, which is awesome. They can either call and file a claim, but if they're calling in the middle of June, July, filing an HVAC, they're probably going to be on hold for a minute. But we do have a homeowner portal available for our buyers and sellers to where they can go online, they can request service. Takes literally like a minute to do. It tells them exactly who the contractor is, the company name. The contractor does have 24 hours to call them to schedule. But we also do tell our homeowners, just give them 30 minutes to get that dispatch. You can also call them as well to get on schedule, but just easy. They can see their claim. They can see the process. Our guys, when they go out there, if they can fix it right there on the spot, then everybody's happy. But if we have to order larger parts or even equipment, they do have to come back to 210. We approve it, and we're the ones that actually order the parts and the equipment because we get it for a much better deal than contractors can.
Reduced rate.
That's why it's always good to work with our contractors because you're going to be less out of pocket.
Okay.
But we also do allow our homeowners to go out of network where they can use their own contractor. We give them that option.
So there is a network, I'm guessing, that each home warranty company, they have HVAC companies, plumbers, electricians that they use that you would consider in network, but there is an option for you to be able to pick your own contractor. Is that like an additional?
Absolutely. We give them that option. They can either go through us and use our contractor, or they can go, we call it ONC, out of network. We understand something, with a home warranty. I always like to educate my homeowners and set the expectations that we are not an emergency service.
Yep.
We are more of a risk management tool to help offset high out-of-pocket costs.
Okay.
So by going through a warranty, yes, it's a process. If their AC goes out and it's 95 degrees, you're probably not going to get that replacement that same day.
Nope.
Because contractor does have to go out there. They're going to do everything they can to get them, rolling again with the AC going. But if if they have to order a larger part or even have to replace it, they have to come back to 210. We do the approval process, and we're the ones that actually order the parts and the replacement because we get a much better deal than contractors do. But again, I have the warranty on my own home. Water heater went out on a Saturday. I had my whole family staying at my house because it was my son's birthday.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait for the warranty company. So I decided to go out of network. I called somebody. They came out. They do have to go through the process. They have to let us know. They can't just go and get a brand new HVAC or a brand new water heater and hand me a receipt thinking that they're going to get paid what they just paid for retail. That's not how it works. They have to let us know. And then we have to send over a diagnosis, a full diagnosis of what the failure was, a breakdown, what it's going to what's going to cost. And they have to get approval prior to work being done. I did that. They sent me a check. Yes, I was a little out of pocket, but I got a water heater that same day.
And I bet it was funny being the plumber that showed up, knowing that, hey, I'm the 210 rep, and I'm not going to tell you that. No, I'm not paying this. You actually were supposed to clear that with the company. That would be a frightening experience for me. Why home warranties matter in real estate. So we're going to move into the next segment here and kind of breeze through this one. Sellers, why should they offer a home warranty? So say I have a client that's getting ready to sell a house. Why do you think they should offer a home warranty?
Well, we see a lot of negotiations where there's a 28-year-old HVAC system. Buyers are taking a couple steps back because they're concerned about the age. They want it replaced, but the sellers, no, they're in good, safe working order. They even have a licensed HVAC contractor go out there, and they even said, yeah, these are very old, but they're in place in good, safe working order. And so I've seen where buyers will come back saying, well, we want you to pay $10,000 towards a new HVAC. Well, you can use that warranty as a negotiation saying, well, we had an HVAC company come out. They are in place in good, safe working order. We have the listing coverage with AC coverage. We're going to give you a warranty.
So instead of paying $10,000, I'm going to pay you $599 or whatever it is for the year.
And when they do fail, then we're there to protect them.
Get you a home warranty. That's the moral of this entire story is what I'm picking up. Because you offer coverage for sellers, how does that protect sellers in that transaction process of listing the home, going under contract, up to the closing table?
Well, the last thing that sellers want to do is put more money into the home. They're trying to sell it, right?
I mean, the goal is to sell the house with as little out-of-pocket expense going back into the home so that you can net the most amount of money at the table.
And, unexpected could happen.
It always does.
And it could happen right before closing. And they could be eligible for coverage where they can save a lot of money out of pocket.
Okay. So, sellers, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting a home warranty, because when you think that it can't happen to you, it's going to happen twice.
Oh, yeah.
So just remember that. All right. For buyers, how does it help in their first year of home ownership?
Well, a lot of people don't have thousands of dollars laying around to
they probably just spend it all at the closing table.
Exactly. They just bought their biggest investment. And so that's why you have a home warranty, to offset those high out-of-pocket costs.
Yep. From a previous contracting standpoint, when you move in to a house, obviously our job as an agent is to try and break down and find any defects that may be in the home. But we obviously can't tear into a heat and air system, look inside a water heater. But I feel like most of the time, the issues that are going to arise within the first 6 to 12 months of you owning the home. And it was just lipstick on a pig, putting a Band-Aid on something just to get the house sold. And unfortunately, it's kind of crappy, for lack of better terms, on the seller's part. But this is where a home warranty is going to save you a whole bunch of money, because if something's going to happen, I think it's going to happen in that 6 to 12 month range of you finally getting the bed moved in. And then next thing you know, you got water pouring out of the ceiling on top of the bed. And you're like, well, got to replace that too. So
we actually average 1 to 2 breakdowns within the first year of home ownership.
You hear that? It's going to happen. It ain't if, but when. God. I didn't think it was going to be that high. 1 to 2. It'll make your stomach hurt. All right. So this is going to be an agent question. So I sell a house. There's a home warranty associated with it. Well, these people are calling me and they're like, oh, well, this, and this is wrong. Blah, blah. How does a home warranty from 210, how will that help me manage what is happening at said house?
Well, I like to say this is your risk management tool right here. for agents.
If you're a prior military, you know what risk management is.
So important to always present a home warranty to your buyers and your sellers, because we hear it all the time where buyers will come back to their agent saying, well, I didn't know that I could have gotten something that could have protected me thousands of dollars out of pocket.
Yep.
Or I actually haven't had an agent during COVID that put a warranty on every one of her buyer transactions, and she just stopped buying home warranties. And one of her homeowners lived next door to one of her old clients, and their
They
AC
told
went
her,
out. His AC went out.
keep your
And-
mouth shut.
And the homeowner was like, well, didn't she buy you a warranty? She bought us a warranty and it replaced our whole water heater and our refrigerator. And so he came back saying, well, where's my home warranty? And
You can just go ahead and strike that client off your sphere.
so it's always important to present it, even if you're not going to buy the warranty, but let them know that this is something that they can purchase for themselves. And we also do have a waiver in here for the agent's protection, saying that I did present a home warranty to you. You did, decline coverage.
Sign right here that says I declined.
That way, if a homeowner does call them back saying, well, you didn't tell me about this, protection. Yes, I did. And you signed to know. So homeowners would realize, I could get something that can protect me.
Hey, this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime you have to sign something, it really makes a different kind of part of your brain start working, and you're like, probably need to give a second thought to what's about to happen. Whew. All right. Myths and misconceptions. So 2 more segments, one of them being closing. So this is what I like to call rapid fire. This is probably one of my favorite segments out of all the videos. I just ask you a couple quick questions. If you get on a rabbit trail, I'm going to follow you. Hey, we're just going to go. I'll start kind of asking some questions there. I've just got 3 just to kind of ask, I guess, down and dirty, very broad, vague, but you can get as detailed as you want to. Home warranties cover pre-existing issues. True or false?
False.
Okay, so what would be a pre-existing issue? I know we talked HVAC, but let's just use a water heater, for example, just broad scope. If it already had a leak or there had already been some previous maintenance that was done and it is repetitive, the elements keep going out because there's too much buildup or whatever. Is that?
I mean, just, when our guys go out there, they look for the cause and the effect. And based on the timeline of how long there's been coverage in place,
Yep.
They can determine if this is something that just happened or if this has been an ongoing thing.
Okay.
For a great example, a slow leak with a water heater. There's, just say they're into the warranty only a week. And our guys go out there and there's water stains everywhere. Water stains don't take. Microwave wasn't really heating. It turned on for the home inspector, but they didn't really check.
Is that included in the appliances?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. See, I would have never thought that. I thought that was just hey, you better go back down to Walmart and buy you a $75 replacement.
So again, we just require that everything's in place in good, safe working order prior to that warranty start date.
Easy enough. Easy enough. Next question. You can call your own contractor with a 210 home warranty program.
Yep. As long as they follow our process. They got to let us know that they're using their own contractor, and the contractor has to send us an invoice, a detailed invoice showing what the failure was and the cost that it's going to be for them to fix it. If they want to use their own contractor, and if we do have a contractor available, we're only going to pay based off our price guidelines. So we would pay what we would have paid our contractor to do that job.
Okay.
Now, going with out of network, sometimes it actually makes everyone happy because sometimes it could be a simple fix like a plumbing fix where they're only charging $300 and the warranty company might come back and say, we'll just pay you in full minus a service fee.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also seen where they call an HVAC person out for an evaporator coil leak where they could just replace the evaporator coil, but instead they'll say, well, this needs to be replaced, and they're charging $17,000. Well, we're only going to pay for what failed. If we could repair it, then we're going to pay that. But if it has to be replaced, then again, we're only going to pay what our cost would have been to replace that system. We just have to have it detailed, showing exactly what failed and what needs to be done to fix it.
RTR,
Mm-hmm.
repair, then replace.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Okay, last question here. If something breaks, it just automatically gets replaced.
As long as it failed due to normal wear and tear.
There
If
it
we
is.
can't repair it, then yes, we would replace it. As
Sure.
long as it wasn't placed in good, safe working order.
Safe and working order. There it is.
Prior, yes.
So we touched on this, and now I'm going to circle back to it. Home warranties are not worth it. That's a big myth that a lot of people say. How can you bust that today?
Well, I can actually tell you my own personal story. I have 2 HVAC systems, and I woke up one morning, I came downstairs, and I felt like I got hit. Middle of July.
Welcome to
Middle
Iraq.
of July. We have 3 different plans to choose from, but I always recommend our Supreme plan because it's the best plan, the best coverage, but it has all the additional coverages towards replacement that the Simple and Standard doesn't have.
Okay.
And so I had an HVAC guy come out there first because I wanted it done that same day. So I went out of network, and he was going to charge me for a full system replacement about $13,500 for a full system replacement. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go through 210 because I didn't have 13,000 just laying around that I can just say, okay. And so I called 210 out, and they came out and they did say, yeah, your system had to be replaced. I got a full system replacement in 4 days, and I was $175 out of pocket. So
I don't know if
175 or
I got my shoes on.
Yeah.
175 out of 13,500. It means you're going to get a couple extra dinner dates to the old Texas Roadhouse, it sounds like.
But I love hearing those stories because we have been replacing a lot more HVAC more than ever because of the government mandates and no longer finding the parts. And so I just love hearing the homeowners like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm getting this full system replacement and I'm going to be very little out of pocket.
That's when they start calling you crying, sending you Christmas cards kind of deal. You're like, we're here for you, buddy. So advice for homeowners here. Last little segment. What should homeowners do if something does break? Do they call their rep? I know you spoke about the portal. So say they're with 210. What do you do? Hey, this is going on. First thing.
So I can't place claims for the homeowners. So we do advise them to either call the 1-800 number or go onto the portal.
Okay.
But there are situations where if there's long hold times ever, like our hold times are not as bad.
Y'all get to like *6-7 your way in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if there are hold times, they can still input their number for us to call them. But that's why we always say the homeowner portal because it's simple, it's fast. But even if the homeowner portal is ever down or if they're having issues with their internet, they can always call me and I can always escalate to have, someone reach out to them to get them their claim started.
Cool. All right. What is one thing that you wish that every buyer understood about a home warranty?
That we're not an emergency service.
You want that, call 911. What were you saying? Somebody called you at like 9, 10, something o'clock at night?
Yep, I got a call. It was like after 10 p.m. It was actually 11 p.m. And
do you know these people?
No, they're just homeowners.
Okay, well, we'll talk about
that.
They
called me about 8 times in a row, and it woke me up, and I freaked out because I was like, is this an emergency? Is this someone from my family that, lost their phone? So I answered, and it was an older gentleman requesting me to have somebody at his house that night because of his AC went out. I actually did get somebody out there that morning, though. So I was pretty impressed with that.
Pat yourself on the back for that one. That's good. Who benefits the most from having a home warranty program? Buyers, sellers? I think that is the right answer to the question. Who benefits the most? The homeowner. Because you are getting appliances, HVAC, water heater, you're getting 30, 40, 50 grand worth of coverage for $600, $800, $1,200, depending on what plan you go with.
Our highest plan, $740.
$740? Hey, that's a good deal. It's worth spending the money up front because when something happens, I can assure you it's going to cost more than $740 for you to fix it on your own. Take it from experience. All right, last one. What questions should someone ask before they purchase a home warranty? Do you have like 2 or 3 that you can think of?
I mean, just what's covered, what are common non-coverages. I mean, usually when I talk to homeowners, I go I'll go in the nitty gritty if I need to. But it's just all about the expectations and what's covered, what's not covered. Those are just the basic questions I usually get.
It all wraps down to one: what's covered and what's not. It's been super helpful. Thank you for coming on. I know you got a little bit of a timeline to meet, so we'll get you out of here. So last 2 things for you. Where can agents, buyers, sellers, what is the best way for them to contact you? So what I'll do is I'll put your business card, I'll throw it on the screen, so we're just going to be talking about it. But
okay.
What is the best way for people to contact you?
You can call me, you can text me, email me, whichever is easiest for you.
Okay. Are you on the social medias, any of them?
I'm on Facebook.
Okay. With business, personal?
Personal.
Obviously, we don't want people to get into your personal business. So
I want people to know who I really am.
Well, see, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm a glass house. All my cards are face up. Everybody kind of knows what, if it's a Thursday and I'm on the lake, they're going to know because something's going to get posted. So just got to be upfront and transparent with people. I think that's what wins. Okay, so we talked about the best way for people to contact you. So if someone is buying or selling and they want to know if a home warranty makes sense, what do they do?
Call me.
Call her. Phone number was about 10 seconds ago. Go back and look at it. Write it down. Save it in your phone. You never know when you need it. If you found value in this episode, like, subscribe, share it with somebody that's getting ready to buy or sell. It was a pleasure having you on. We need to do this again. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to her. We'd love to help you out. If you're looking at buying or selling here in the state of Georgia, give us a shout and we'll see what we can do for you. So that wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you. See you next time.